Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So how do you usually practice to playing a keyboard?
I usually practice with my teacher in my home.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, welcome back to MTsB channel. Kita ni cakep. So, before we start our discussion, let's introduce ourselves first. My name is Ma'am AULIA.
Hello, I'm Ma'am Ina. I'm a mathematics teacher.
So today we are going to discuss about the different process of learning mathematics and English. Actually, it's very different. Totally different. Why? Because different subject, different teacher, and different students have a different treatment and strategy that we use in our learning process. So that's why we are going to discuss about the condition of the class and then students respond and strategy and media that we use. Well, Ma'am Ina, I'm sure that every class is same. Most of students are interested in learning process, but some students feel lazy when receive the material. So how's the condition in your class?
Mostly in mathematics class condition when lessons are quite stressful, ma'am. Why? Because mathematics requires students to focus more on using logic, especially on abstract material such as algebra.
Yeah, I agree with you, ma'am. Based on my experience, when I was in elementary school to high schools, I felt that mathematics class was very stressful. I didn't know why. It can be the topic, because the topic is very hard, so it makes the students focus, so the class become quiet. But it's different with English class. I'm sure that some of students don't like about English, but they still follow the activity well. So what's your difficulties or problem when teaching mathematics in the class?
Okay, there are some obstacles when I teach mathematics. I will explain one by one, ma'am. Number one, student lack to understanding of arithmetic operation such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Number two, student don't understanding about the previous material related to the new material. Number three, student less able to connect the material between one another concept. Number four, student don't careful or not careful in calculation or doing the question or exercise. And number five, student perception would think mathematics is difficult.
Would think mathematics is difficult.
Yes.
So their mindset.
Their mindset is mathematics is the most subject of the difficult.
Yeah. So I underline that not careful in answering the questions. It's the big problem of the students. For example, when I solve 16 tenses, I want to make sure that my students understand well about the tenses. When I give some sentence, they can divide or relate this sentence relate with present or past or future. Yes. So when I give some sentences, they can analyze well. But when I give sentence or questions individual, so they have to answer it by themselves, they found some mistakes. So when we do checking together, they found some mistake. They only said, "Oh yeah, ma'am." "Oh, I forgot it, ma'am."
They said, "Oh yeah, ma'am."
So this is the big problem of the students. Then what's the most difficult material in mathematics?
I think the most difficult topic in mathematics is algebra and geometry. Why? In algebra, it contains abstract concept. For example, x, y, z, variable, coefficient. But in geometry, in algebra, many students have to difficulty of the abstract concept in algebra, but in geometry, students have to difficulty to illustration and calculating of the shape, both of surface area and volume of three-dimensional shape and two-dimensional shape.
So to overcome it, we need media and strategy
Yes.
in our learning process. So strategy and media is needed for the students, right? But we have to know that in every class have a different character of students. And the important thing is different learning style. Not only most of students are kinesthetic,
Yes.
not only most of students are auditory or visual, so they have different. So as the teacher, we have to creative to choose the best strategy and media that we use in our learning process. Not only maybe for English, not only movie or game, so only focus
Music.
in kinesthetic, but we have to mix. So kinesthetic, visual, and auditory student can understand well the topic that we explain it. So in mathematics, what strategy and media that you use?
Media can use for mathematics lesson or PowerPoint, essential teaching material, and video learning. And strategy to make easier for the material is use the PowerPoint to help student understand, and then give the question from easy level of the question to next level or difficult level. And then number 3, student change the mindset of student who think mathematics is easy and then useful and fun. And then okay ma'am, and the last, relate to mathematics to daily activity of the student.
So it's the important thing.
Yes.
The strategy and media.
This is to make easy for the student to understand about the material.
Okay, I think same with you. I also use television,
Yes.
PowerPoint, whiteboard to explain the material to the students. But not only that, usually I use flashcard. So for
okay,
example,
flashcard.
when descriptive text, I have some pictures, and I print and cut into some pictures. Then I share it to my students, so they have to describe based on the picture that they caught. And then not only flashcard, maybe movie. It's not 1 hour, no. Only I think 2 minutes until 7 minutes enough. To make sure that they understand about the story, so I ask them to retell. So to retell based on the story. Maybe they have to find moral value and others. Not only that, listening music, song. So based on the song, I ask the students to identify which one is verb, which one is adjective, which one is pronoun. So that's the media and strategy that we use, that I use, to make sure that students understand well about the topic. So in your opinion, what's the percentage of the students that like mathematics?
My opinion, I think student who like mathematics in one class around 30 until 50%. But will innovative learning more, I believe that the percentage will increase even more.
Yeah, innovative learning.
Innovative learning.
So we as a teacher, we have to creative.
Yes.
Because the students need creative teacher. So if we,
That's the characteristic of the student.
yeah, so we have to upgrade our knowledge. Not only knowledge, strategy and media also, because there are so many media and strategy that makes student easier to understand the topic.
Okay, yeah. I agree with you, ma'am. I hope we, as a teacher, as a be a good teacher for our student, and then I hope May we always be given help and enthusiasm for our knowledge, for upgrade our knowledge.
So we can be a good teacher for the
Yeah.
students. Okay, so that's all our discussion
About mathematics and English.
especially the learning process and strategy and media. Okay, so that's all for us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your nice attention. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The last we say,
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.